Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Transport Fever. It's been a while for me, anyway, since I did the recording, and more important, it's also been a while since I realized I forgot something. Yep, it's also been a while since I've been working at the game while being online, and what I actually did is while checking some things because it looks like I need to replace some of the roads. Um, what I've been doing in while being in offline mode is actually setting up the entire road network that's required for our next phase. So if you wonder what that means, well, as I said in the previous episodes, I will set up a road network and I have built the entire road network with some difficulties actually from St. Anne, where I actually had to remove some of the things I built in game, all the way around through Hallam, Driels, Warkum, Mantrum, and eventually Tietjerk back to St. Anne again. So it's a full circle. When that's done, I also set up the bus infrastructure in each and every city we have over there. So that part is done. What I haven't been doing yet, anyway, is setting up the cargo network. I will do that over time because there's a lot to think about. But with that being done, and with some of the other vehicles being added to a previous route as well as new trains, because keep in mind the last episode I also have been setting up a new train over here. Not sure if I can, yeah, that is one of the crude oil trains. So with all of that in mind, what I'm going to do now is first of all, I need to check something. Yeah, that one still has transport. I will select each and every station road depot right now and check if it has. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Check if any of them have new vehicles, and if they have, here we go again. Nothing in the shipyard. I will over time add each and every vehicle to the network. So, sorry, that's a lot of work. As you can see, lots of buses are going to be added. Or trucks. think this is all of it. We're here in Holland. So the first vehicles are moving. Another thing I'm going to do is we're going to follow this train for the time being. I can keep it on top. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Fortunately, things keep working. Yep. And every once in a while, I will pause stuff because I need to keep checking the various vehicles on the lines and especially the frequency. So we have two passenger trains. What I've done, as you can see, I've bought a lot of vehicles on top of it. As a matter of fact, I've spent 180 million. 180 million right now, people. 180 million. So about half of cash I had to set up the network, everything. And everything is working the way I wanted. Every lesson I had from the previous episodes is applied in this part. And yeah, it works. So I will release things. Let's see, because I forgot one thing. Clockwise bus. I need to figure out Holland clockwise bus, which is the blue route, which is heading into this direction. So this part is where I will release the next group of vehicles. I'd say, let's go. And when that's done, we will at some point, I have to add another train to the route because 15 minutes is too slow, even if it's one going with clockwise and the other one going counterclockwise. So at some point I will have to add another train to everything. And if slash when everything works out the way I want to, which I probably think it does, I will add a second train and we will follow that for the rest of the recording. So we get a good impression of how things are working along the... There we go. This time it's going to take a long grab. Railroads. Oh, that's fun. This is funny. Because I have two of those routes. One is a yellow and one is a black. Me not happy. Because I have no idea. Crude Railroad roads. Which one of the two is working? This one isn't. Okay. That means I have to rename that one. Railroad 2 roads. Yeah, right. And I just lost everything. Speaking of a good start. Aye, aye, aye. I'm going to do the quick transports. Holland. Yep. That's actually where we were. So that part is covered. Back to selecting this is really, well, not a big pain, a little pain. Oh my God, no. Really? This is not a good day for all of this, I think. By the way, I also set up ships. So we're going to see that later. Nothing here, right? No. So let's try it again, because this time I have everything where I want it. Let's bring this one back. Like I said, every once in a while I may have to switch to chat, especially on the bus routes. That's one. Buses. Fields. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Holland. Counterclock. I think this is actually faster. And clockwise. Hunch. Crude and fuel. There it is. Only 1 second. Okay. Mantrum. That also means I could have been smarter by using that one, but never mind. Bus. Clockwise. And counter. Well, the other way around anyway. 82 seconds. Welcome counter clock. Clockwise. 104 seconds. So I was thinking, I was afraid that the 3 buses was actually not enough. Turns out it actually is. So let's give them a moving command again. Because I hadn't set up the second. Everything is up to number 3 now. Let's see what he's doing. No passengers, but well, actually, still 3 minutes. Now I have to start following them. This one has no problems at all. Okay. Do those last. This route is set up, the crude to fuel, set up to collect all the oil from here, which I will transport with a tanker ship. It's the railroad we unlocked in the previous episodes. There's a lot of things to follow at some point. "43" and I made a mistake. The check is up on the top. I made a mistake. Clockwise. 57, 56. That's better. I'm pretty certain that some lines will run better as others, like if you see that. I'm not worried about that actually. 114. 2 minutes is the minimum I have in mind. And just now we got an autosave. So 114 and 111 is pretty good. This one, however, will need Another one. Cargo. Tanker. I. Oops. Control C. Oh, wait. Control V for crude feeder. 121, 128. Okay, that works. This also needs more. Saint and Road Depot. 6 minutes with 3. Let's make it 5. And we're going there actually, because I need to check crude to full. Oh, wrong again. Six minutes. Four minutes. Ooh. The other ones are pretty close behind each other. Let's see what happens. Another thing I've been practicing with, and that's one of the reasons why I want to use the trains, is building bridges and tunnels completely different. I usually just build them up and then at some point connected them by raising and lowering. What I've been doing now is actually measuring the distance from the start and using different bridge types. So one of the reasons why I really want to go along with the train at some point. But let's see how this is doing. 3 minutes, it still needs more. That makes 7. As I was trying to say, I use different bridge types because I found out that I actually have different bridge types. Never knew I had. I always thought it was just one kind. I'm not certain if that's default from the game or because a mod I loaded. As at some point I actually loaded. No, it's default from the game because I didn't activate the mod. That's for sure. So we have different bridge types and I've been stupid enough to never notice it. Let's just keep it to that. But with it, because of those different bridge types, I'm able to change the entire landscape as well. I mean, if you look at it, still 3 minutes by the way, but if you look at it, if you just travel by train and you only see a flat trajectory and that's it, and the same type of bridge, it gets boring. But if you're traveling by train and you see a suspension bridge or the bridges with the metal layers and I don't even know all the name definitions, but all kind of different ones. Built of stone, built of concrete, things like that. The entire thing will get a lot more interesting. So that's why I did that. I was really happy when I noticed. And I also noticed that trucks are actually getting very close behind each other, which isn't really a good thing. So I'll have to wait for number 6 to show up before I release number 7. And hopefully by that time our passenger train will also be able to start picking up people. And hopefully with that, I also noticed that the passenger railroad 4 and passenger railroad, oh wait, we're following 5 instead of 4. I want to follow 4. But that's actually having cool. It's actually running with passengers. Now, where's that truck? There's bus, tram, St. Anne Goods Factory. It's already over there. With the fuel. 130 seconds, so I still need another one. Train is actually having passengers. Wait. All I need to do now is wait for that truck before I can launch this one. I may actually have to add another boat to this one. Get its frequency down, although I have no idea if that means that neither of them will actually run in different capacity. We'll see. There's number 7. As soon as it passes again, I will release it. And there comes the fuel boat. So if that works. Go. 112. So that's done. Time to pause because I want to know where that train is. Heading over to Dynam. And it's currently at Styrum. Okay. Here's a truck. Number 1. So it's about to start picking up. It's about to start to pick up oil. Good. So that's the first 4. This route, like I said, is heading out up here, dropping off the change this. Can't. Oh wait, I can. Highway. Everything has become a single lane. It means they have to stop a little bit more often, but at the same time I will make sure that it won't run into problems. Anyway, this one, 38. So that works. The second one is already loaded up. So that works. And I need to stop 103 oil because that's going fine. I need to check up here. Is it halfway? It's actually a bit past halfway. So I'm going to add another train to both lines. Going to do it the fast way. Manage vehicle. Clone. Done. We're going to follow that one. Current time 8 minutes, 7 minutes. It'll do. Like I said, we're going to ride along now. So I don't need this. Going to close that. And we're going to check our finances actually before doing anything. We've spent in 2035, it's 38 now. In 2035, we spent 8 million. In 36, 111. In 37, 224. And 38, which is now 83 million. I'm down to 90 million because of all of that. Look at the finances. This is when I did all the offline investing. all the building and stuff. This was the last of the replacing, I think. So if you look at the balance, the bank balance was going up. It will go down a bit. The value, however, goes up really big. So my tracks, 31. This is when I started building. The town growth, everything is equal, and my headquarters, I can have a check. It's still the same building. So, like I said, we're going to ride along the rest of the episode, at least the next 15 minutes. After that, we'll see. I haven't seen this one on rail yet, so it's going to be funny. What I did here, as you can see, I split from the terminal into two tracks, one for the counter and one for the clockwise trains. Makes it easier for passenger and cargo trains to get to the right spot. I also split it up for passenger and cargo train. So eventually leading out with 4 different trains. And this is what it's going to look like. There's no need for me to use the mouse anymore. Nice. But I will give some comments. Maybe pause the game every once in a while if slash when I see something interesting. And what I did for the signaling to get them at an even point, and I need to pause it now. As you can see, I won't move the mouse, so I have to point it out off screen. But as you can see, I put the signals in front of the catenary poles. It's just that tiny bit of realism I like, because when the train is traveling, the driver, the engineer, I think the technical term is, shouldn't be able to see a signal after he saw the pole, but before that. So I put the twos on my track in front of the pole at the same level, and the two from the opposite track behind it, from my point of view. From the other point of view, it's of course before the pole, and mine are after. So that's one of the things I did. I also placed them about 7 or 8 catenary poles after one another to get a nice even distance for the trains to actually cross if the track is full. That'll never happen, not with only 2 trains running on the same track. And of course everything is set at high speed. And most of it is actually built in one go. So that's why we get these nice straight looking tracks. I also set the trains to work at the right platforms. Each and every train arrives at the same platform at every station, which means that while we're going full circle, this train will always go to platform 2, and the other train, the opposite direction, will always go at platform 1. Now it's waiting for something. What's wrong? Waiting for free path? Ah, yeah. Look, the other one is coming in. Because at some point I have been using the same track for in and out. So it needs to wait. That will most likely happen a lot on this train, because it's the one that always moves over to the next. Even my switches are currently working as intended. I think actually crossed the tunnel already. Next station, same thing. Except what I did up here is changing bypass route. I set the first cargo platform next to my passenger platform, so I would lose one track because I don't need a third passenger platform. Build the cargo instead, that's one track. Then the bypass tracks down in the center, which explains the signal we have over there, because I wanted to keep the bypass track going into the right directions without trains colliding, collapsing, no, colliding, collision. And after that, it's only cargo. The nice part of that is I was also able to extend the station somewhat to make it a little bit look more modern. So everything has a flat roof except for the start, both the ending sides of platform where I have the arched ones. I also moved some of the underground passages to another spot. I did use some variety of stations, trying to make them look more natural. And the advantage of using only two platforms is this: a lot faster going back onto the main track. There's one of the new bridges. I've been using concrete this time, so it's a flat road bridge. It's concrete. Getting the suspension bridges and everything like those later. Checking for the train though. As you can see, things are going quite smooth right now. And to me, it actually feels quite natural. first, is this one will ever run at full capacity? I doubt it. It's currently close to 25, a little bit over 25%. If the other one does too, yeah. Yes. Another one of the bridges I built actually close to the station, using a different way this time. It's the same type. As you can see, it looks a lot more natural compared to what I used to have earlier in the game. And this was actually a problem station I had. I was putting down the station, and this time I have to look around. But I was building the station, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get a proper connection from the station to the factory, while also having the bypass tracks, the ones we were using now. So eventually I built a station and tried to check if I was able to get the cargo buildings in between, which, as a matter of fact, I am. And with that, I was actually able to get the bypass track. So this platform, very small, is useless. It's just there to make sure that I was able to get the connection done. But it gives a nice view because, as you can see, my other train actually runs over that track. And the cargo tracks are still at the right side. The cargo platforms are still at the right side. Everything should work the way it's intended. Next bridge. This is one of the more early ones, and it's one of the more old-fashioned type of bridges. Like I said, it's all giving a somewhat more natural look. Still funny that the people wearing the 1920s clothing in the 2030s. Still nice to see so many passengers coming in, because right now this train is already at 30%. This works the way I want it. So my idea of having a station with bypass tracks in the center is the one that works out best, because I can connect things, and we actually have a tunnel over there. Can't see it at the other side though, because I can use the bypass tracks as main tracks while making a connection and build the other two tracks, the outer ones, later for the connection to this various platforms. That's some bridges here and there. or actually some sort of grid iron like 5 switches, and everything works fine. This is a cargo station only, so no switches needed over here because the bypass will run next to the platforms. Every time we have switches at our side, we're going to run close to passenger station or have trains using bypass tracks. Same idea. It doesn't even reach full speed, I think. Ooh, 95, so close to 50%. That's not bad at all. And another type of bridge, this was actually one of my experiments to get new bridges done, which, although it doesn't look very beautiful, I think turned out pretty good anyway. Look, building bridges and tunnels is the hardest thing in this game. Absolutely the hardest thing to do in this game. So, get things done as much as I currently have, the way it looks. We're getting another one coming up in distance, which is actually even better. Yeah, that makes me happy. Also the way the tracks are going. Oh, this one is actually going over things instead of under. It's such a smooth transition right now, as you can see. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. I think there's another one coming up later. One of the more older types. Even that one works nicely. This is actually the last station of the entire route, so it's possible they will drop off visitation a lot. If they do, it's all going to travel to other cities, which means they will hop on the tram, probably. Let's see how much it's actually unloading here. Not that many. Look at this. Can we run this one too? Well, let's do something else first, because I've got some time left. What we have here, currently 37 people waiting. We saw a lot of passengers leave. The question is, where are they heading to? You see them all move to high passes here. And here they go to the tram station. That one is only heading to ferry tram. So it's likely they move from here to there. And then take the ferry to get across to Harns. If that actually happens, you can also see a lot of things, a lot of passengers being over here. I made a bus tram, as you can see, a bus tram terminal up here. So passengers are going from the train station to the ferry, or from the ferry to the train station, or from the transfer to the bus station and be transferred all along. And yeah, that's done on purpose. As you can see, lots of passengers getting out of the tram right now. Only 3 going on him. He's most likely going to Noot. No, he's going to the ferry. And he's going to Noot.
Huh?
Commercial building via passengers 4. Which commercial building? This commercial building in Warkum. So it works. She is taking the train. She came here with the ferry, probably. No, certainty. Came here with the ferry, took the tram to the station, takes a train to get eventually working at shopping at this particular building. So all of that works. Let's see if I can pick up another passenger, because I'm curious as where they're from. Albert Green. Commercial building, passenger 4. Details. He went from an industrial building in Ljouwert, lives in St. Anna, goes shopping in Warkum, and works in Ljouwert. That's what I wanted to see, because the emissions. It's a bit weird that we're getting such high emissions from rail transport, but never mind. Here you can see the roads, the bridges I had to construct. We're going to do everything with another passenger train in a bit. But it pleases me to see that the network is actually building.
Huh?
He's going to So all of that works. I can actually, at some point, perhaps expand the bus network for a better. Why does this one still show tram line? Ah, because of the tram depot. At some point, I may actually set up a new passenger network with the bus covering the other one. So we're going to do the same route into the other direction. Maybe I'm able to point out some other things by now. After all, this time on the outside of the tracks instead of on the inside, so I may be able to see a little bit more. This is one of the first bridges. That was actually the second bridge I built on this line. Like I said, it's a lot better. So happy with this. Even that old bridge over there. It's actually built along the way I did the other ones, because it's still going up while it's flat. But it works. And although it doesn't look that beautiful, maybe somewhat ugly, it's all looking quite nicely. To the two cargo stations I built, I'm wondering how this one is going. It worked fine. Actually working excellent. Certainly this one. This bridge is also not entirely flat. I do have room for enough other tracks though. Yeah, very happy with this. Also looks like the counterclock train is actually transporting more as the clockwise train. And even signaling works. I'm so happy. Well, in one of the upcoming episodes, we will certainly run this route again with with a cargo train. And hopefully that'll be just as nice, especially if we're going to use bypass tracks to transport. Because up to now I haven't set any waypoint on a train route. Everything is fitting in the way it should. Because the way I hoped it would happen, I wasn't sure it would. Well, it did. So I'm enjoying this. Still, not everywhere the Catenary is working as it should. I think that's because of the switches I have. But then, it also gives some sort of authentic view, I think. Even more passengers as the last time. Yeah, this is working perfect. I don't know what it's doing with the buses along this route, but trains are working perfect. Even the approaching train is looking so beautiful. The irony, believe this, irony of everything is that I actually had in mind to do a similar thing with this area, starting here eventually going around through him, from French to Dustens, Slade, Dynam, Goudem, Jouwert, Hans, Markham, Ten Aert, Hampton, etc. But yeah, you've seen what happened. The game kind of changed things a lot for me. So a lot of things changed. Also, when we're looking at fuel, we have 109 waiting currently. This is my cargo ship, already has 83. Well, it's 2041 already. We did 56 million profit. So yeah, but this is actually transporting quite some fuel. So that part works too. Thing I may have to do now is preparing for more street access later, if I need that. That one didn't fit, yeah, I thought so. This one, however, does, and even if it's only 25 times 2 is 50. For the time being, I got 110 to be stored. Given this one is already doing 83, I will need that. That one's too early. Whoa! Speaking of fast loading, good grief. So I need to check a few things up here right now. That one has fuel waiting. 120. It came from Diamond. Where I have 333 fuel waiting, and I'm unable to build. No, I'm not. Can I build a big one? No. I have so much fuel waiting for this one that I can actually clone that train. Which also means it's down to 9 minutes right now. Because with 120 oil and 300 waiting, I need a lot more. Will take some time before that train is actually at the station, so it starts kicking. But yeah, it works. So I'm not going to bother much with that. The boat works. And even if it's at 15 minutes. So with 2 trains, there may actually be some more. There's a 40 fuel waiting here though, because Heinz also needs fuel. So there's probably some fuel dropped off and dispensed. Let's check. This is the cargo part. No, it's not really much what it's doing, but also something I changed here, this bridge. I think you know that. So a second train to transport the fuel and the oil. There's already 56 waiting here. It's even now transporting fuel. Somehow I've got the feeling that the fuel refinery up here is supplying, yeah, I thought so, shipping to other ones as well now. Anyway, there are a few things I need to do, starting with probably setting up an oil route from that oil well to this refinery. I need to check if there's another refinery over here, because I've got plenty of oil wells, no refineries. I want to start with plastic steel production, so I could actually get a higher goods production going, because this one, especially lacking the plastic, it's at a low level. So the wood isn't a problem, plastic is. But with one refinery up here, now I can do more. That's no problem. I may have to, that's something I've been considering already. I may have to split off my tracks at some point and actually set up a connection to this one or over here. Those are things I will look at later. For now, I will start to do things one by one and looking at what I can do. I can, for instance, start the production of steel. I have a steel plant here. We have an iron mine here. We have a coal mine here, and I already set up the road. So steel is a possibility. Produce steel, transport it to Czech, and there's a tools factory up here, also close. And this one does have the tools factory. This one doesn't. So I may a little. Let me think. Roads. Country 80. Um, yeah, I know how I want to do it. Buildings. No, buildings. Cargo. Truck station. 30 meters. Not like this. Thing is, I can't get everything connected. That's one thing. The other thing is, it's the only tool factory I... Oh no, it isn't. Okay, problem solved. Never mind. Streets. Country. Large upgrade. Done. Buildings. Truck station. That is. And anything else is going to be in the next episode. But we've got ourselves a new project. So, thanks for watching. I do hope you've been enjoying it. I did. Seeing everything working out on the passenger tracks is quite nice. So, yeah, I really did enjoy this. I hope to see you next week. Have a good week. Goodbye.